You are listening to a special edition of the Purdue Report. Jake Dunn's reaction to Purdue's 49-13 loss in Seattle to the Washington Huskies on Saturday. Only on the Central Indiana Sports Report. Welcome back, Boilermaker fans, to the Central Indiana Sports Report for a special edition of the Purdue Report. I'm here with Jake Dunn to react to Purdue's 49-13 loss in Seattle to the Washington Huskies. Jake, it was just no contest.
Honestly, really felt like a setback, and Barry Odom actually committed that in the post game. I called it a big setback and said it was very, very disappointing. And I would agree, as Purdue's losing streak in Big Ten games stretches to 17 games, and the overall losing streak this season is now at 9 games after starting 2-0.
Here's the thing, Jake. They were down 21-0 early in the game, and it didn't feel like they were being outplayed. It felt like they were a couple of unfortunate plays that didn't go their way, including a 4th and short, which was a horrible play call. I love that they went for it. Love it. Horrible play call. I don't understand it at all. They make that play, and it's a kind of a different game, and I think they're kind of playing with them. But, man, late in the first half and early in the second half, it looked like they just quit.
Yeah, for sure. And I feel like they missed a couple opportunities early to kind of set the tone. So Purdue's defense got 2 stops to kind of open the game in Washington territory, but the offense just failed to capitalize. Had those 2 turnover on downs and an interception that equated to 21 points for Washington. And potentially leading early, Purdue fell behind 28-0 and just never really recovered from there.
Yeah. Ryan Brown, 1 for 617 yards and an interception.
Yeah, he now has a Big Ten leading 9 interceptions on the year. So
I think that might be his last one, Jake.
Yeah, we saw Malachi Singleton really kind of play the rest of the game and use the ball better. Yeah, absolutely. I was a Ryan Brown believer early on in the season, really, especially since the Northwestern game. He just hasn't looked very good at all. So I think there were some flashes before then that I thought he'd be pretty good. But I'm not sure next year's quarterback is on the roster.
I think you're right. I think that's probably true. But Singleton, with another year of maturity, might be a Big Ten level quarterback. Probably not a good one, but probably not one that you want, but he will probably be a serviceable one if he's still around, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I think you're absolutely right. I was thinking that during the game is most of this team will not be around next year, and certainly the quarterbacks will not be around next year. Speaking of will not be around next year, E.J. Horton had a really good one with a receiving touchdown and a 31-yard run, and that was kind of cool. But overall, Purdue 30 carries for 100 yards, not going to get the job done. Passing 17 for 34, 167 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception, just 267 yards of total offense. And for Washington, who looked just smooth, man. I don't know how they lost to Wisconsin. Holy cow. 506 yards of offense.
Their offense looked just really effortless. Kind of wish Purdue's offense could look that way. Honestly, kind of felt like the offense reached a new low. But to your point, to Washington's offense, quarterback Desmond Williams, we were talking him up in the pregame show. He finished 16 of 19 for 257 yards and 2 touchdowns. Also ran for 23 yards as well on the ground. And he really controlled the game. We talked about Washington's offensive line, struggles with their injuries, and thought that hopefully Purdue could kind of capitalize on that. But I mean, he just looked pretty cool, calm, and collected for most of the game.
They did get some pressure at times, and he just kind of ran away from it. It didn't seem to affect him very much when they did get pressure on him.
You're talking about their run game, even without their star running back, who at one point was a preseason All-American selection. Jonah Coleman. Without him, they still finished with 214 yards and 5 rushing touchdowns.
With 5 yards a carry. And I didn't think the run defense was horrible. There were some plays where there were some giant holes and some big runs, but I thought overall the run defense wasn't horrible. If Jonah Coleman plays, who knows? Maybe they are completely outmatched. But I thought, other than 4 or 5 big runs, I didn't think the run defense was horrible. The pass defense was just atrocious.
This was the 4th time this season that Purdue has allowed 500 plus yards in a game. So,
wow.
Yeah, not a lot to really like here about the defense.
Kind of looking forward to seeing what happens in the IU game. See if they can give Coach Odom 2 weeks to come up with a game plan to see if they can do a little something. Maybe throw a little surprise into IU for a little while. That's the hope there.
Gotcha.
The good news, Jake, is we'll be back tonight to talk some Purdue basketball, the best basketball team in the country, after they play Akron tonight at 7:30 on the Big Ten Network. We talked about it a little bit after Thursday night's game. Huge 87-80 win over Alabama, but so glad we get to transition into basketball here.
I think it's going to be hopefully a lot more exciting than what this Purdue football season's been. I guess kind of, if you want to call it good news, there's not really any place to go except up from here. After the bye and the bucket game, which I will be at. I may regret my decision to go later, but I will be at the game. I think Purdue's really gonna show that they're motivated. I mean, in this game, Barry Odom even said in the post game press conference, he said, "I did not see a team that was motivated and played the way that you should." So you took accountability for that. But this just looked pretty lifeless, kind of like the Northwestern game, where they just didn't really look motivated and didn't look like they didn't really want to be there. So now Purdue's got the off week, then the bucket game against number 2 IU. So you got to stop the bleeding, finish with some sort of dignity. Whether that's be cover the spread or not get beat by 50. I think either one of those would be kind of a win. And then just prevent this from turning into a complete collapse of the little bit of culture that this program has built in Barry Odom's first year as head coach.
Then hopefully he has some time in the offseason to bring in a new roster. Looks like the recruiting class is pretty good. Don't know what's coming back at quarterback. Got a few weapons, I think. Possibility of Nitro Tuggle and Michael Jackson expected to be back next year, I would think.
I would hope so. I think of the top 10 or 15 players would be considered Purdue's best. I think most of them will come back. So hopefully they can, if they're on the fence, hopefully they can buy into Coach Odom's plan and vision and strategy and structure. But hopefully Purdue can step up from an NIL capacity and be able to make it a little more enticing for them to stay. As sad as that is in today's college football and college basketball world as well.
But again, we'll be talking basketball tonight, and it's a whole different world over there. I think that's what Coach Odom needs to do, is kind of figure out what his type of player is and not recruit the stars, recruit the kids that you like Matt Painter, because that's been awfully successful. Not sure if it works the same in football as it does in basketball, but whatever Matt Painter is doing in basketball, the rest of the college basketball world is following him.
It'd be nice to see him have the same sort of success. As you probably remember, Greg, Matt Painter's first year as head coach certainly wasn't anything to hang your hat on. So
first couple.
So hopefully Coach Odom can start to see this get turned around. I'd hate to see him, not really make any progress and get fired like Ryan Walters did. So hopefully he can turn around. I think he's got the right mindset and everything to be a really good coach, and being a hard-nosed coach is something that Purdue needs. Hopefully he can show some improvement next year and can be a little more competitive.
Everybody come back tonight and join us, but only if you like Purdue basketball. Thanks, Jake.
Yeah, thank you. Boiler up.
Thanks so much once again to Jake for doing that. Not easy to get up early on a Sunday morning and talk about some bad football, but we will be talking a lot of good basketball coming up. Jake and I both truly believe this is the Boilermakers year, and we're going to be talking about it as much as we can, including tonight, Sunday night, after the Boilermakers take on the Akron Zips. Please look for us tonight. Thanks so much for listening. Always appreciate it. Please do us a huge favor and share this podcast with a Boilermaker fan in your life and help us spread the word that we're here talking about what Central Indiana sports fans are talking about every single day. The Central Indiana Sports Report is brought to you by ITG Media, and I love Susie.